And as I went out into the world, I realized that I had thought that I was so serene and calm and non reactive and just that I had this all figured out. That's not the definition of true resilience, and that my expansion had stopped, my growth had stopped. It was time to go. So, throughout the last 2 years of traveling the globe, I faced a lot of different challenges. And every time you do, and you come at it from a self guided way of being, then you just come out stronger. It's like you talk about building confidence. When you climb a mountain and prove to yourself that you can, then the next time you have so much more confidence to climb the next mountain.
So, when we're talking about confidence, one of the things that I have always been scared of. So when we were young, my sister went to work in where did she work? Switzerland. So she went to Switzerland. She was only about 17 and she traveled, and I think she worked in France and Switzerland, and she was working in hotels and on fruit farms. And I just thought, I haven't got the courage to do that, because I was a shy girl. And really, even now at 66, with all the confidence I've got, the thought of packing my bags up and traveling around the world on my own would scare me silly. So why am I talking about this? Because my guest today, Lauren, does exactly that. At the age of 60, she is traveling the world as what she calls a global nomad. She's also a writer, and she's a guide for women in midlife and above, talking about everyday magic and, how to live a free spiritual life. So this is going to be a really exciting conversation because, like I said, it's something that scares me silly. So hello, Lauren. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy we were able to get the technology to work and the time zone math and all of the things.
Yes, technology is a skill I'm learning, but we get there in the end. And thank goodness for chatbots, because you just say, this is my issue, and it just says, right, do this, and then it's sorted, which is what happened this morning.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so you have behind you a wonderful view. Tell us what that view is, Lauren.
That is a view of one of the mountain ranges here in the Himalayan mountains. It's not the famous Mount Everest, which is on the other side of the country. This is sort of west, and I can't pronounce it. It sounds sort of like Machu Picchu, but it's not. It's like Pinui or something like that is the
It's a macho something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a mountain, and it's part of the Himalayas, and it's beautiful. And so you're in Nepal.
I'm in Nepal. Yes, I'm in a little village right now called Astam, which has a population of like 3,000 or so. It's tiny,
Okay.
tiny
Yeah.
little village in the middle of a lot of agriculture. And I'm actually at an eco village now that is sort of prettied up for tourists,
Right.
for eco-tourists, but it's still like there's no hot water in the showers. You have to, if you want hot water, you have to go down in with a bucket and from a little tank that they have that's fire heated
Brilliant.
and bring it up for yourself. And there's no heat in the rooms. And so it does still feel very authentic, even though the duvet is very thick and designed to help Westerners not freeze to death at night. So
So some luxury, but some like living, wild, if you like, as well.
yeah, and that's kind of like across the world, the definition of words changes, like the word luxury.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
so this would be considered very rustic in the United States, but is considered luxury here,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got a
yeah,
duvet.
yeah.
That's brilliant. You got a duvet. You're living in luxury.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, there's an
Yeah,
awful lot of things, in the West we take for granted, like heating and hot water, just turning the tap on, oops, and being able to have a
yeah.
bath. But, in so many other countries, that is like a day's, a day's adventure, filling up your bath so that you can at least, have some even cold water, let alone hot water. Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And so I was writing this morning in Everyday Magic about the 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 reason for leaving my comfortable little hermit existence in my cabin in the Appalachians. And so what I learned in 2023, I had lost my cushy corporate gig. I had a beautiful freelance corporate gig that I did from home that, supported me with this lovely cushion so I could build my spiritual business that's called Be Happy First. But so when that gig went away, I had a decision to make, is find another one or really focus on this. And I feel like this was my purpose in life, right? To be able to teach women to claim their lives, right? And break away from society's change and culture and religion and all the things that tell us how and who we should be. So I really felt this longing to get out and teach this. And so while trying to survive, I was driving for Uber, I was driving for Lyft, I was trying to Airbnb my house. I was doing whatever I could to keep a roof over my head and food on the table while I built my business. And as I went out into the world, I realized that I had thought that I was so serene and calm and non reactive and just that I had this all figured out. But then I realized anybody can be calm and serene if they're just surrounded by dogs and cats and squirrels on a beautiful, serene
Yeah.
mountaintop, right? Yeah. And that's not the definition of true resilience, and that my expansion had stopped, my growth had stopped. It was time to go. So throughout the last 2 years of traveling the globe, I faced a lot of different challenges. And every time you do, and you come at it from a self-guided way of being, then you just come out stronger. It's like you talk about building confidence. When you climb a mountain and prove to yourself that you can, then the next time you have so much more confidence to climb the next mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. My revelation this morning when I was delaying getting out of bed because it was so warm and cozy under the duvet and so cold outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think then that you lost your job because you had to do this? So it was kind of a push from the universe, say, come on, get on with it.
No, I have thought that many times, and I struggle with this concept of everything happens for a reason, because I don't believe that we're just pawns in some plan, that we don't have any free will or any choice or anything like that. So that phrase to me feels like there's some puppet master or some grand design that we are just pawns and we just do the thing, which I don't believe. I believe fully in free will and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
choice and making our own path.
Mm-hmm.
But I also
I do.
believe
Yeah.
that, yeah, but I also believe that the universe knows what I want, knows what my heart desires, and knows what needs to take place in order to get me there. Right. And so, from that point of view, yes, no more cushy job. And then my next excuse was, well, I have a dog and 6 cats. Well, 3 of my cats disappeared into the forest. And I'm like, okay. And that's another story about why we chose to live
Yeah.
in such a risky environment. But it
Yeah.
was just these little one clue after another that's like, it's time to go. And then finally one day I realized that I was spending all of my time trying to pay for my things. And so suddenly my house and my
Yeah.
car were
And they're
the
just
owners of
things.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I made the decision that I was going to flip that around and let my things finance my freedom and go and see the world. And as soon as I made the decision, it happened just like that. My
Yeah.
house sold at a
Yeah.
very good price very quickly, all with everything in it. I
Yeah.
really literally sold everything. And yes, so yes, in a way I do believe that the universe said, "Okay, no more cushy jobs. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Go, go, go."
Because that actually confirms exactly what I think. Because like you said, I don't think there's I don't think God is sitting up there thinking, oh, well, you need to be doing this now and you need to be doing this now. There's no great plan. But I think, I think we're all part of the whole, we're all part of the consciousness, we're all that energy, and we come to our human lives to follow a path. And I think that you can move down lots of different paths, but sometimes you just get clues that this is not the right path for you. And I don't know why, and I don't know where that comes from, but it's almost like it's your soul that has already decided that this is the way you should go, the direction. And then things start to happen. And when things start to go wrong, it's a message to say you're not on the right path. Once you're on the right path, everything clicks into place. So the house sells, or your furniture gets sold, you lose the need to hold on to material items. Because like you said, you were working just so that you could have a house and a car, so you could get from one job to another, so you had a
Right.
roof over your head. But you could do that anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, you can get a roof over your head and you can get around. It's not as easy, but that's a challenge for you to take up if you choose to. It's like the hero's journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, I realized I spent 10 years on that mountain. A challenge in itself. It was very
Mm,
isolated. I had electricity and running water and internet and, all of those things. It wasn't that isolated. At one point, the pipes froze somewhere underground between the spring that fed my house. And so I was without water for 10 days. Town was 40 minutes away. So there were specific challenges involved in that lifestyle. But even before that, before I escaped to the mountain, I had been very nomadic as a younger
right.
woman. And when
Right.
I wrote my book in 2021, I added up how many times I had moved, and it was 21 times in my
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Right? And this as an adult, and my parents didn't move me around. We stayed put. But the minute I turned 18, I was off
You were
and
off.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
So it was
difference
always in your
was,
blood anyway then. Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas for
yeah,
me,
it
I was
was.
brought up, my father was very strict. He always needed to know where I was. I think it was because I was a girl. My brother could do what he liked. But me and my sister, we had to report exactly what we were doing, who we were with. My mum thought there was a murderer on every corner. For whatever reason, she was totally overprotective. And so I did grow up with this fear. Um, that something would happen to me. And I think this is why, I don't know how my system broke out of it. And I think maybe I should have given myself that push to do something that scared me. And now I'm kind of in this place where even like the thought of going to an airport, I think it's the airport that scares me more than the flight, and being in a strange country as well. But I think now I could do it. I could do it because if I had to, I mean, I don't want to leave home now because I'm got grandchildren and a husband. But if I had to, I think I would now. I think I've got enough courage in me to actually make that leap. I would have to drag myself to the airport, and it would take a lot for me to sell some of my things. But I've got too many things that I really don't need.
Yeah. So I feel like the longing of your heart will outweigh all of the other things at some point. So if you
Yeah,
really wanted to go, your desire to go would be greater than your fear, and your
yeah,
desire to see would be greater than your clinging to your things. So these things just balance, and the scale tips, and off you are, right? And
yes,
one of the things that really interests me is that, so traveling around the world and being free and having these new experiences, I had a deep longing. When I go to research something, I'm like, I want to talk to the person who was there, who saw it, right? And I don't really believe anything in between. And even if you could get to that person 2 million years ago, whatever, the account is through their eyes. I
mm,
wanted to experience the world through my eyes. I wanted to see the truth for myself, how
right,
human beings are interacting with themselves and each other and the earth and with spirit. And, you know, is this oppression of women worldwide? Yes, it is, by the way.
yeah,
Is there really such abject poverty in the world? Yes, there is. Is there murder on every corner? No, there's not. Are people unkind
every
and
corner,
rude? Well, and yeah, so the media gives us this picture of the world that is a teeny
definitely,
tiny
yeah,
fraction of a percent. The world is kind. I
yeah.
can count on one hand the people I have met who were rude, and most of them were in the Miami airport. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. It says something, doesn't
but
it?
yeah, the thought I started with is that the experience that your heart is longing to have doesn't necessarily require you to go and travel the world. If you figure out what that longing is, then you can figure out a way to make it happen in a way that feels good to you, right? And
Yeah.
the possibilities are limitless, and that this is what I am trying to teach. And I'm not trying to teach everyone to ditch all their stuff and go travel the world. That's not the path for everyone. But to be yourself and honor your heart and be who you are and not be ruled by society and fear and doubt and conforming, right? And finding your way of doing that. That's the cool magic. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think a lot of women are starting to do that more now, because I guess it's a lot easier for women now to live on their own, get jobs. We're not totally reliant on a man like we were in like my mum's generation and my grandmother's
Right.
generation. And there are a lot of women apparently now that are leaving their marriages because they just are fed up. They just want something different. And that, that you've got to be married by 30, you've got to have a house, you've got to have a family. All of those, what do they call it? The quarter life crisis rules. They're going out the window now. And I think, people are, especially women, are starting to think, well, actually, that's not what I want. And it is really easy now to work anywhere in the world. If you've got a laptop and an internet connection, you can really work anywhere, can't you?
Yeah. And I mean, just look at this place. Wi-Fi is more important than indoor heating,
Yeah.
connecting to the world.
Having said that, you just froze. So you said you started this in 23,
Yes, I
22,
sold my
23?
house in late 2023 is when I sold my house and I spent the holidays with my family. And then I started my journey in South America, just easing us all into it, not that far, same time
Yeah.
zone,
Yeah.
warm climate, all the things. And then I made my way a couple of countries in South America and then a little stop in Canada and Ireland and the UK, which is beautiful. That's where
Yeah.
my roots are. My family is from Ireland and the UK,
Wow. Yeah.
according to my DNA. And then over
A
to New
lot of
Zealand
Americans
and
are originally from Ireland.
yeah, so yeah, and I'm just kind of following my heart, following little signs from the universe, and it's really cool how I keep being brought very soulfully matched people and
Right.
circumstances. Yeah,
Yeah.
I discovered early on this thing called trusted house sitters.
Yes.
There's several different apps, but I wrote an article recently, well, sometime that said if I woke up tomorrow a millionaire, I would still be a pet sitter because you bond with these people over their pets. You become a member of their family. You care for their home. You're introduced to their friends and their community, and it's really just like being able to move into a place and make it your home for a while and really get to
Yeah.
know the people. Yeah, so and I will often look for a an 8-week period in Europe somewhere for pet sitting and let that be the cornerstone of my journey and then explore on the way or around or I'm just kind of letting myself be guided and going really slow and taking my
Mm.
time to really experience the places that I land.
That sounds amazing, doesn't it? And was it
Mhm.
always your intention to travel to lots of different places, or did you think I'll just, I'll go to South America and then I'll come back again? No, you
No, it
always
was my
wanted to
intention
travel.
to
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and with
yeah,
no intention of going back anytime soon, but my family has talked me into coming back at the end of next year to pet sit for them while they go on
okay.
an adventure.
That'd be weird.
Yes, yeah. But and they do want to see me as well. It will be 3 years
Yeah,
by then since we've seen each
yeah,
other. But we're all very clear that it's just for 5 weeks and then I'll be heading off on my adventure again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. um that the a large part of my quest is a spiritual quest. It's about the book series that I'm working on. This is also material for my books, and the
Okay,
series
yeah.
is called the Sacred Ordinary. That is so profound to me, as being able to go to different places and see what is sacred to you, what is
Mm,
special, what is special.
yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is sacred if you decide that it is, right? And that
Absolutely.
makes for such an enriched life. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we don't look deeply enough into things. You don't have to go far to see the wonders of nature. Like, you only have to look out your window, and there are so many miracles just happening right in front of our eyes, but a lot of the time we don't even notice them. So,
Yeah.
I'm really into like stopping and staring and seeing what's around me.
Yeah. I mean, just our bodies. think of the miracle of the human body that
Yeah.
we so
Yeah.
take for granted. So I'm
Yeah.
really into embodiment and being integrated and embracing all the facets of ourselves, and it's
Absolutely. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
lovely life.
How many countries have you been to so far then?
I think 13. I think
Okay.
Nepal is my 13th country.
Lucky 13. Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, different places. I might need to count again, um, and see, because it seems like it should be more than that. But so I I count England and Scotland as two different countries.
They are two different countries, yeah.
Yes.
And Ireland as well. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And several places within some of the countries. So yeah, it's I counted out recently that I've slept in 25 beds this year. Not this year, 2025. In 2025, I
Yes. Yeah.
slept in
Got you. Yeah.
25 different beds. Yeah,
Yeah.
more approaching 60 for the whole journey. Yeah, little things like that, like being able to walk into a brand new place in a brand new country and fall asleep just like you were in your own bed in a brand new
Yeah.
place. It's like, oh, and it didn't start out that way. The first few nights were like, whoa, what's going on? Where am I?
Yeah. Yeah. You wake up and you think, where am I now? Do you ever
Yeah,
forget where you are? Because our
yes,
friend is a singer-songwriter that travels all over. And he says, sound like sometimes he wakes up in a hotel and thinks, what country am I in?
yeah, probably not as much as him because he's probably moving more frequently.
Yeah. 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 He's in different towns in different countries as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So tell us about your book then. So what's the book you've already written? What's that called?
That is called Happy and Free on Purpose, Daily Practices to Live and Love Your Life. And it was based on the exact process that I used to go from being bankrupt and half drunk on my sister's couch, kind of rock bottom kind of place,
Yeah.
to rebuilding my life and landing at my amazing paradise on the mountain, owning this little bit of the mountainside and, just really crafting my own life and getting back in touch with myself. So I wrote the book about that. And the new series is called The Sacred Ordinary, and it's Everyday Magic. The Sacred Ordinary is my Substack publication.
Yes. Yeah.
So I had just started compiling. I had realized that Be Happy First had just had its 11th anniversary on November the 11th, and
So
that
that's a
I was
sign,
2
isn't it?
years.
On its own.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And it was 2 years from the time that I began this quest that I decided to sell the house and get everything done. And so I decided it's time to start compiling the books. I've been writing over 3
Yeah.
million
Yeah.
words so far. And as soon as I got to Chennai and got started on that, my laptop broke. So it's been in and out of the repair shop for the last couple of months. So
You've worn it
again,
out.
maybe the universe wants me to learn one more thing that goes into the first book before I get that done. Who knows? Yeah, we'll find out later.
Maybe it's to take a break. Maybe you were working too
Yes,
hard on it. Yeah.
yes, maybe so.
Who
Be
knows?
more present.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And so when do you see that book being finished?
that's a very good question. I don't know. It's already a series of at least three. I would like to have the first one finished within a year. Um, but
And
that's the kind of
again,
projection that.
yeah, it's something that could carry on indefinitely, isn't it? Because I was
Yes.
talking to, I did, it's in fact, I'm going to post it today, my podcast with Peter Mukherjee, who
Mhm.
wrote A Few Wise Words. And he was
Yes.
saying like he's now working on his second book and then there's a third one lined up. And we were saying that could just go on forever. Like there's so many people you can interview who would give
Yeah.
you wise words.
Yeah. And on this journey there are so many themes. There are the things about how we raise our children, and
Yeah.
themes about the oppression of women, and things about religious oppression, and things about cultural and societal pressures and stresses, and the division of politics and the corruption
God,
of our
yeah.
government.
Don't get into that.
There's so many. And how can there be 200 billionaires in India, and yet they don't have a sanitation system? So
Yeah.
many, many themes that could be brought from
Yeah.
this adventure.
Yeah. So the question that springs up from what you just said is, in all your travels, what surprised you the most?
What surprised me?
What comes to mind?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Wasn't
You
actually the
know,
question I was going to ask, but that's what came up in my head. So my intuition wants to
yeah,
know.
yeah. So possibly how big the world is and how small it is at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And like in Scotland, it was very difficult for me to drive on the left-hand side of the road. That was surprising. I'm a very good
That's why
driver.
I love Scotland, because I can drive on the left.
I'd see it's terrifying and disorienting to me to be, and I still
Yeah.
haven't gotten
Yeah.
used to that. But how, some places I could get anywhere I wanted to go on my feet. I could find anything that I needed without ever needing to get in a vehicle. And others, vehicle is you rely on a vehicle for your survival.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be able to drive a car in order to go anywhere. How widespread our separation from the earth has become,
Mm.
and how much we take our earth for granted. And
Yes. Too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, how, and again, a lot comes back to modern religion, which is all interwoven with politics and power and agendas, and how we took our attention to our brain and to the sky and forgot about the wisdom of our bodies and forgot about the wisdom of our intuition and forgot about the wisdom of nature and the earth. And it will be our demise if we can't turn that around.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it will be. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on our road to disaster, and we need to put the brakes on. We haven't found them yet, I think.
Yeah. And we're not going to destroy the earth. She will recover, but we will make
That's
it
right.
uninhabitable for
In
ourselves.
fact, nature will probably think, well, God, thank God they're gone. We can get on with it
Yeah.
now. All those monkeys can come back. Lauren was talking about monkeys stealing things on her little video she did yesterday. It's
Yeah.
because we are living in their country at the end of the day. So yeah, they'll be saying, right, bye then, leave your things behind. We'll have those. You get off.
Exactly.
Go and destroy yourself.
Yes. And perhaps next time a more respectful species will be in charge. I don't know. But
Yes. Yeah.
I I'm choosing to have some hope and faith in humankind.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll find a
There are,
way.
yes, and there are many, many people like you and me who have come to this realization and it starts with us. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So talking about intuition. So when I do these interviews, I never like have any set questions or anything, because I rely, and I do my coaching the same way. I rely on my intuition to ask the questions for me. So the next question that came up was, what have you seen that has moved you the most? And I imagine there's lots of stuff.
Yeah. The kindness and generosity of human beings, and the Nepali people most especially are so gentle. I heard raised voices and like a violent argument once in Nepali, and they were not natives. It was a man from California and another man from some other country that were fighting. That they're gentle, and life is so hard for so many people, and they could choose to be bitter. They could choose to, resent me as a Westerner with all of
Yeah.
my softness,
Yeah.
but they don't. They welcome me. They are kind. They share everything that they have. That is the most moving thing to me, is the true gentleness and kindness of the human heart.
Yeah. 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 I think people will always help. We expect them not to, I think, and particularly as Westerners. And we go to places and I think in a lot of cases, we feel superior and we act superior, and we don't give people a chance to help us. And they would. People are kind, like you say, because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we're all the same. We're all human.
Yeah.
That's, you know, and when I was doing my confidence circle, which is my paid subscribers meeting that we do 3 times a month, and one of the questions we were looking at last night was fill in the blank. If people were blank, more blank, the world would be a better place. And honesty, kind, and accepting came up a lot.
Yeah. And you landed on an important point there, in that a lot of times travelers will go to a place and then try to make it just into the same place that they left.
Yeah,
And that
the
that kind
English
of,
do that very well. Yeah.
and the Germans also, they come to a place,
Yes.
they want
Yeah.
their German beer. Yeah. And Americans do as well. I yeah, so I won't go off on that tangent in this place. But the beauty of travel is if you find a way to immerse yourself and to respect the culture and ask questions, curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I would probably in your question that you just asked, if human beings were more curious, the world would be a
Yes.
better place.
Yes,
Yeah, if
that's
we
true.
when yeah, when you're genuinely interested in the way people live and the way that they think, and simple things like in India, when someone wants to say yes, we nod our heads. They do their heads like this, sideways. It's not a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're curious, you're like, this is something that you
But
learn.
then dogs do that when they're trying to understand, don't they? Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah.
perhaps that's more natural.
Right. And so if we can find a way to respect and admire and blend into a culture without losing ourselves, right? It's not that
Yes.
we're making ourselves into just like whatever our environment is. We've been doing enough of that our whole lives, right?
Yeah.
Being the chameleon that is, yes, that knows how to act at a cocktail party or over here and just twisting ourselves up to fit in. That's not the thing. The thing is coming with genuine love and interest and respect into a culture, into an environment, and letting that enrich you, right? Letting it expand your mind and your heart and just make room for more of all of that within you. That's another theme of the sacred
Yes.
ordinary, right? Yeah.
Yes. Sounds lovely. Yeah. Yeah. So where can people find you then? Is Substack the best place to find you?
Substack is the best place to find me. Yes, Everyday Magic, the Sacred Ordinaries, where all of my work lives. That is being published at the moment. LaurenGFoster.com is my website, but it is slowly but surely being outdated as
Mine
the newer
too.
stuff
Mine too.
is added to Substack. Yeah, courses and digital downloads and things like that live over on the website for the moment.
Okay.
That Substack is the best place to find me at the moment.
Lovely.
And
Brilliant.
my inner circle is called Magic Makers, and there's some content and private conversations and things that we have inside that group. And this really cool thing that we do called daily body magic, and it's a combination of all of the modalities that I've studied: qigong and meditation and breath work, and just my own way of getting integrated and being my body. It's basically a moving meditation that we do together just about once a day, depending on
Lovely.
time zones and all this stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is a free thing for magic makers, and we talk girl talk before and after, and it's lovely.
Which is great. Yeah. 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 I love connection, even, online connection. I was editing one of these podcasts yesterday and I was looking at my face thinking, God, you look so happy. You really love this, don't you? And I do. I just love meeting people and talking to people. So is there anything that I should have asked you and I didn't?
Not that I can think of. No, I think that this was a beautiful, brilliant, fun interview. I
Bless you.
think I think we covered a lot. We covered confidence and resilience and challenging yourself. Yeah, we covered a lot of
I
stuff
think
in
that's what
here.
happens when you don't have set questions, when you just listen to what your intuition wants to ask, you get so much more out of it. You definitely. How long are you going to be in Nepal then?
I haven't quite decided. I'm due in Australia in March, on March 1st. And so I don't know. I might stay here the whole time. I might go to Sri Lanka. I might go to Cambodia. I might go back to visit my friends in India for a minute. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with that. So about 6 weeks from now is what the time that I have. So I'm still waiting for intuitive
Yes,
nudges from
yeah,
the
to tell you
universe
where
to
to
make that
go.
decision.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And do you see yourself doing this forever, or do you see yourself maybe one day settling down somewhere?
There is an image forming in my mind of a semi-permanent location that is like a spiritual retreat. That I'm also in training as a one spirit minister, which is an
Okay.
interfaith, no faith type of thing that is just really equips us to meet everyone where they are. And I would really love to be the spiritual friend, companion of a village, and also to be able to
Yeah.
bring people from all over the world. And I want to grow my own. plants and herbs and maybe have
Yeah.
a goat and a chicken or two. So that is an image that's beginning to form in my mind for someday. But is that 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? I don't know. Like, I'm 60. Am I going to live to 130? I don't know.
You might do. Might only be
I
halfway through
might.
your life. You've got the other half left to live, Lauren.
That's right. That
That
could
sounds so
happen. You
exciting,
just
doesn't
don't
it?
know.
That's how I look at it. I mean, I'm six. Oh gosh, I'll be 67 this year. And I think, yeah, well, I could do another 50 years or so. I'm sure I could, as long as I look after my health. So that's kind of what I'm obsessed with at the minute, making sure I
Yeah.
stay healthy. But yeah, I
Yeah.
want to stay. I don't want to go anywhere for a while.
I did, so of course this can be for our next interview, but we
Yeah.
were talking, I was talking with my friend from New Zealand about death, and he actually had a friend come back appear to him after his death because they had made a pact. Like, okay, whoever dies first has to come back and tell the other ones what it's like. And he swears that this is, and so there's a part of me that's like so interested to see for myself what happens at the end of this existence.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely loving where I am now, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want it to hurt.
No, 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 no. I've got some caveats about living to an old age. I've got to be able to stay independent. I don't want anybody bathing me or taking me to the toilet or anything. And I need to be financially secure. So I need to be able to, pay my way in life.
Hmm.
So this is why I carry on working now. But I do this because I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Do you know Abraham Hicks?
Yes.
Esther Hicks has this. She is actually the reason. This is why I named my movement, if you will, Be Happy First. But she says that she's going to be happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, dead. And that's what I'm going to
Yes.
do too.
Yes.
I'm
That
going to
sounds like a
decide,
plan. Yes.
yeah, I'm done. I'm just going to go to sleep, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Yes, that's what I think. I think there'll come a day when I'll think, okay, I've had enough now. Let's go, and then we'll just leave. We'll game over. We'll just press game
Yeah.
over, and it's gone.
Yep. Bye,
Yeah, bye
everybody.
world. Bless. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I've loved this conversation. We could carry on talking all day, I think.
We could. We could. Yeah. Thousands of other subjects we haven't even touched on yet.
Absolutely. We'll have another one. We will meet again, Lauren.
Okay. Lovely.